Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. All right, so we've cooled down a little bit. This is the XRP chart on the hourly. As you guys can see, XRP is just ranging right now. One XRP going for going for about $2.64 per coin. I was really hoping we would breach that $2.72 mark. It looks as though XRP is butting up against former resistance there, and why I say $2.72 is because that is, that's a level that I've identified here as being critical support. We did wick down there in September. We bounced back off there in late September. So this was September 22nd, and then again on September the 26th. You guys can see a couple of times back in here, September 1st, we did wick down in there. But really, what I want to do, I'm going to take that off the hourly and put that on the daily to show you guys this is also a critical level of resistance, former resistance from back in December of 2024. And you guys can see that there in February of 2025. We also hit that level. And you guys can see there's a wick up there too in December 17th, 2024, wicked up against that level of resistance. So former resistance does now become new support. We are seeing that support over here on the chart, and hopefully we can get up above that. That would be critical for XRP, guys. I think, a lot of us have been, and we're so close to it too. Check that out. A lot of us have been waiting for this. A lot of us do not want to cash out of our crypto too soon. For more information, though, on what I'm doing, you guys can follow me at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. Cheaper than some people pay for a cup of coffee every single day. It is only $5 a month, and you get my up-to-date views on the market, completely transparent with my cash out targets for XRP, for Bitcoin, my legacy cryptocurrencies, and the $15,000 plus altcoin portfolio that I'm holding over there. So check it out if that's something you're interested in. Patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. Fear and greed still sitting at neutral. We've got the market cap down by a little bit today. Not too much movement in the market. Boy, we have not seen too much volatility in the space. We are seeing a bit of a mix, red and green today. Luckily for us, XRP is actually up 0.55% compared to some of these other altcoins in here. Look at HBAR. That's even up 15.89%. So some altcoins obviously doing better than others. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. I mean, we haven't even taken a look at Bitcoin yet. Let's take a look at Bitcoin here on the hourly. You guys can see Bitcoin did reach $116,000 just yesterday. That would have been Monday. And now we are retracing a little bit. So the King crypto needs some breathing room. I think we're going to get there, guys. I know there are some naysayers in the space suggesting that, there is a good possibility that XRP won't get up to new highs. Geometric here saying, judging by the comments, this is causing a lot of stress and paranoia and confusion. So what I think a lot of people are paying attention to is the blockchain backers assessment here. On the left, a historical example of ranging after a major liquidation, concluding with range high sweeps. And guys, on the right, this is the XRP current price behavior. So what the blockchain backer is showing us here, a few charts demonstrating where the structure broke down after what we're seeing today. So he's showing the ABC structure coming up, sweeping those highs. Guys, that's where we're at today. And then what he's suggesting is the trend could go lower. And there are a few other examples here that he posts here. He posted this on the 24th. Now that we've been ranging for 2 weeks since the liquidation event, it's time to look at what typically happens after big liquidations. Common range ending outcomes eventually sweep the highs. So that was the tweet that he retweeted there. And guys, now we're seeing those highs being swept. But Geometric is saying, if you ask me, XRP holding within this mid-base channel hints at accumulation following the first impulse. Even the liquidation wick got bought up and closed within the channel. So remember that, guys. That liquidation event happened very quickly, and the structure really hasn't broken down. He continues by saying, so long as XRP holds within this channel, upside can be expected. If we start to see consecutive closes below this, though, that would be very concerning. But what I'm seeing is XRP continuing to move up. So I'm thinking, and now we're kind of stalling out a little bit, but what I'm thinking here is that we still have a chance. We're very, very close. This is a different chart, but we're very, very close here to the $2.72 mark. Okay, we're only about, how much are we off of that? Just almost 3%, 2.73% off that level of former level of resistance where we've seen support in the past. So hopefully we can get up above that level with conviction. Who else do we have here? Stock Money Lizards also commenting. Altcoins have been in a 3-year bear market against Bitcoin. So when you compare altcoins, guys, against Bitcoin, this is what we're seeing. Okay, many are still oversold, but he's suggesting money is going to rotate. So as we're seeing the trend going down here, and it's going down steadily, okay, since 2021, going down steadily. Hopefully we see a burst of action. We retest this zone in here, and then we see a breakout to the upside, which would in fact denote an altcoin season. And he goes on to say, I'm trading smart. If you're happy with 50 to 100% gains, buy the dips, sell the pumps, you will make money. I think this idea of making, 50,000% on your altcoins at this stage in the cycle is long gone. That's just my realistic interpretation of this market. Nevertheless, I guess we could still be surprised. So wanted to thank Stock Money Lizards, Blockchain Backer, and Geometric just for posting those. I think because there's so much pent-up demand, though, for XRP, we are going to see some more institutional inflows for that particular cryptocurrency, despite what James Seifert says here. Listen to this.
Do you think that these ETFs, which historically have had a significant impact on the crypto markets and have seen incredible inflows, do you think with the recent uprising of digital asset treasury companies in this publicly listed format, because now those are sort of in the spotlight and you can get exposure through these DATs, do you think we're going to see a little bit less anticipation and excitement around the ETFs when they do inevitably go live?
Yeah, I mean, so I have a few thoughts here, right? Like the long tail of assets. I mentioned there's 30 plus assets that are filed for ETFs. Some have like 20 plus filings related to them, like Solana and XRP and other Bitcoin and Ethereum products. I think the longer tail of assets are of assets like specific digital currencies. They're probably not going to get a ton of interest, right? Like just because you launch like the 47th largest digital asset in an ETF wrapper doesn't mean that this asset's going to take off because it simply has an ETF. I mean, if you look at the Bitcoin ETFs, part of the reason they did so well is because there was so much pent-up demand. And when they launched, Bitcoin was roaring, right? Like it launched into early January and everyone was expecting it. A lot of money poured in. Initially, it was actually kind of a sell the news event. But long-term, money kept pouring in and it was a positive thing for the space. Ethereum is the opposite. For the first 5 months of its launch, they had net outflows for Ethereum ETFs because, market had dumped. It was in the summer. There wasn't a lot of demand. It came too quickly after the Bitcoin ETF launched. The narratives weren't clear. But then Trump got elected and it took off. And it's just another avenue for people to play the space, particularly TradFi types of people. So I think the same thing could happen for these other assets. So I think things like Solana and XRP, we know there's pent up demand there.
So he says we know there's pent up demand, but maybe because there's so many that we won't see the same kind of traction. I wasn't quite sure where he stood on that. Nevertheless, wanted to thank John Squire for that. Guys, we do have some more information with regards to ETFs. Canary Fund Spot, HBAR, and Litecoin are apparently going to be traded today. Eleanor Turret did post this yesterday, October the 27th at 3:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'm recording this on the morning of the 28th. So Litecoin, okay, so here's the quote. Litecoin and Hedera are the next two token ETFs to go effective after Ethereum. McClurg told me in a statement, we look forward to launching tomorrow. So keep an eye out for that as well. The other thing, guys, liquidity is going to be entering the market. Marty Party posting this. The Fed's balance sheet reduction program, okay, so peaking at $9 trillion. That ends effectively on October the 27th per recent Fed minutes. The Fed's potential game changer, a $1.5 trillion injection, he asks. The $1.5 trillion liquidity buzz refers to widespread speculation that the U.S. Federal Reserve will inject approximately that much into the financial markets during the upcoming FOMC meeting, October 28th to 29th, so today and tomorrow, marking a pivot from quantitative tightening to renewed balance sheet expansion, so quantitative easing. So guys, hopefully we do see more liquidity in the space, and hopefully that will spur on some more cryptocurrency activity, some more crypto trading, and I think maybe this could just be the front running of something really, really explosive. Again, for more information on where I see the market going, guys, in more detail, follow me at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. The subscription is only $5 a month, but you got to subscribe and stay subscribed to lock into that price. South Korea is already taking advantage, guys. The Upbit volume, okay, that is the exchange they use. Guys, it's huge for XRP. Traders are fueling a major XRP surge with Upbit, ranking the token as the top most traded asset as price action continues forming higher lows. Bullish momentum points to a potential breakout towards the $4.50 to $5 range. So that is what they're seeing in South Korea. Of course, XRP is the most traded cryptocurrency in South Korea. Upbit, South Korea's largest and most influential digital asset exchange, has officially ranked XRP as the #1 most traded asset on the platform, even compared to Bitcoin and Ethereum. The frenzy is hitting a critical turning point for the crypto market. The asset has gained strong momentum from rising institutional interest, expanding adoption of Ripple's blockchain solutions, etc., etc. So, if this is a sign of things to come, I think we could be in for a very, very interesting surprise. Remember Tristan Thompson? I recently did a video regarding this former NBA star. He still is working within the NBA. He's been telling the players, rookies and veterans alike, to invest in cryptocurrencies, and he's naming XRP. Again, Tristan Thompson played 13 seasons throughout his career, and some of the teams that he was on: Cleveland Cavaliers, Boston Celtics, Sacramento Kings, Indiana Pacers, Chicago Bulls, and the Los Angeles Lakers. And guys, he's super bullish. NBA stars are getting into XRP and others.
So many teammates, former teammates, have called me literally for the last 6 to 8 months, asking me for this information, asking like, hey, I want to get into crypto. I have this extra liquidity. I have this money. I want it to work and do something, because I don't truly believe where it's sitting right now is actually giving me the best returns or the best upside. So what I say to guys is, the advice that I'm gonna give a rookie is totally different than a guy I'm gonna give 10 years plus in the leagues, right? So for instance, with a rookie, right? You're on a rookie contract. Of course, you're gonna have to, figure out, what's your overhead gonna look like. But what I say for rookies and the young guys, it's the money that you would spend for miscellaneous and leisure, allocate some of that money to that, right? So if out of your total contract or your biweekly paycheck, you set aside 10% of that for miscellaneous and leisure exposure, take 5%, take half of that and go open yourself a wallet and go do your deep dive, whether it's buying ETH, whether it's buying Bitcoin, whether it's buying Solana, XRP, do the education research and just save that money that you would spend at the nightclub, maybe a couple nights to going to the nightclub, you're buying, a digital asset, right? Use that to start building up your honeycomb savings where you're in full control, where no one's getting a fee, no one's getting a cut, and you're basically your own CEO. And I think when I tell guys that, they feel that motivation, because I think more than anything else, athletes want to start feeling like their own boss.
Athletes want to be their own boss. And of course, to do that, you have to choose your own destiny, invest in cryptocurrencies that will solve problems for the future. So he's suggesting XRP. Of course, we're still in a spec run, and that could change at any moment. Maybe 5 to 6 months. Chad Steingraber posting this: stablecoins in the next 5 to 6 months. Guys, Kevin O'Leary mentioned this on Fox News. Everything is changing. We're moving towards stablecoins, and now mainstream media is making a big deal about it.
Seconds we have left. But I think that's fascinating now, if we all almost inadvertently move away from the dollar and what effects that has on the inflationary aspects of the dollar.
We're not really moving away from the dollar. We're moving away from the paper currency, and we're moving to the U.S. Treasury bill, shorter duration than 92 days. I think in the next 5 or 6 months, the largest holder of U.S. Treasuries will be stablecoins. And it's still the good old American economy that's backing that up, and everybody trusts. 52 cents of every dollar invested around the world goes in the American economy. I think this is a good outcome, and I believe what I just told you will be rapidly moving forward, because it will be law. It's not crypto cowboy land anymore. We have policy.
We're not in crypto cowboy land anymore, guys. The landscape is changing, not just in the United States, but around the world. India's Madras High Court has now officially classified XRP as property under Indian law. So this courtesy of Jack the Rippler. We're also noticing around the world, guys, they are changing their rules. Even if XRP wasn't illegal or was already regulated in some way, shape, or form, every country still needs to classify certain cryptos in categories that they see fit. So India has advanced its crypto future as the Madras High Court ruled that XRP qualifies as property, a milestone decision that strengthens investor protection, validates digital ownership, and propels India towards clearer cryptocurrency regulation. So I think that pretty much sums it up. I'm not going to read the full article here, but I think it gives you guys a sense of where we are headed. A major BRICS country here saying XRP is property. And I'm sure they're doing that for good reason. So wanted to thank Jack the Rippler, Chad Steingraber, Zafe Crypto here, Mac Attack XRP, Marty Party, and Eleanor Turret Oh, and John Squire just for posting those. Boy, we're getting through a lot of information today. This one courtesy of Steedus. The White House joins Ripple's Swell 2025 event, guys. Patrick Witt is going to be making an appearance at Swell. So on top of all the banking executives and the legacy players in the space going to be showing up at Swell 2025, we are also seeing major influential figures at the White House going to be joining. I think this also demonstrates where we are moving to. In some ways, I think about what Amazon was to books as Ripple is to cross-border payments. Remember when Brad Garlinghouse said this? I think it was in 2018 or 2019. Well, it's interesting that Ripple is calling their new service or rebranding Hidden Road as Ripple Prime. Somebody decided to create this meme here. I guess it was Bank XRP. I can see his logo down in there. Ripple Prime, another interesting example of how we're seeing crypto products, or foreshadowing rather, how crypto products are going to be filling this void for the future of finance. So wanted to thank Professor Ripple Effect there for posting that. Guys, I know there's also been a lot of talk about this. Mainstream media speaking about XRP to clear the US debt. What do you guys think about this? If you haven't seen this clip, I'm going to play it again. It is from Newsmax. Listen to this.
National debt. $348 would have purchased 1.7% of the total supply of Bitcoin at the time, and today would wipe our balance sheet clean. Imagine they'd done that for Social Security too. Because crypto is worth what people think it's worth, simply because people are buying it, and like a Prada bag that costs $50 to make and sells for $5,000, supply and demand. Could the government theoretically, I don't know, take 1/5 of our annual tax revenue, which is about $1 trillion, and put it into an emerging cryptocurrency like, I don't know, XRP, currently trading around $2.50? That would explode the value of that coin. Right now, the total market cap of XRP is $144 billion in total circulation. This would multiply its value by a factor of 8, essentially returning the government $8 trillion overnight. Want to get aggressive, they can dump it, crash the market, buy it right back, do it all over again. Pay off the national debt by Saturday.
I'm going to stop it there, but I think you guys get the point. So, there's been speculation regarding this. Pompeius brought up something interesting, though. Major news for the entire crypto world. Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple, is reportedly being considered as the leading candidate for President Trump's new crypto advisory board. So if this is in fact true, does this actually give this potential more viability? It confirms this would place Ripple and XRP directly at the center of U.S. crypto policy. Think about what this means, guys. The CEO of a company behind the most institutionally integrated digital asset could soon advise the President of the United States or the White House. Ripple, already years ahead in regulatory clarity and compliance, would have a direct voice in shaping the future of U.S. digital finance. XRP's role as a bridge asset for global liquidity could finally gain the official recognition it deserves. So this isn't speculation anymore. The corridors between Washington and Ripple are becoming visible in real time. The next financial framework will not be built in secret. It will be engineered in public with Ripple sitting at the table. XRP is not just part of the system, it is becoming the system. And so this is the headline here from what looks like a hard copy of a newspaper. Everyone and their mother is begging to be on this council. Brad Garlinghouse would be a great candidate. And now that we're getting, the speculation here about XRP paying off the U.S. debt, think about how scarce XRP would have to be in the moment. Think about what that means, guys, for price moving forward. Is this a front run? Are we going to see new highs in the coming weeks? I don't know. Well, I do have my opinions. For more of those opinions, you guys can follow me at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. I also wanted to mention that I have the Working Money Channel merch store, and the link is in the description of the video if you guys are interested in, maybe helping to support the channel in a different way. I got all kinds of great Bearable Guy, XRP, and Ripple merch here. Check it out. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.